it's not a top 5, but we're going to take a look at some power rankings.
Oh dear.
Power rankings.
Who's power ranking these power
I
rankings?
want you guys to give me the power rankings
Oh,
in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
Because here we are, we're into the month of November. We're almost a month in. And the chaff and the wheat and the chaff, you separate that sort of thing.
You're chafing?
Something, yeah, there's always some chafing, definitely. So there's a look at your top 10 in the National Hockey League. I was going to say that we don't spend a whole lot of time talking about Minnesota, and we probably should. They won an overtime against Toronto the other night. Matt Boldy, stud, got the OT winner. They've won 7 of 8. And Kaprizov had his point streak end, but he had 17 points in 7 games prior to that loss against Toronto. And is Winnipeg cruising? Sure they are. But with a game in hand, they're kind of right there. Florida, they went to what? Europe and back, or wherever the hell they were. Finland?
Finland, yeah.
They didn't have Tkachuk for a stretch. They had Barkov missing. He's back now, but they're right there. We just saw the Devils. We've seen
played
Vegas.
A lot. That's the thing with Vegas, with the Devils. They were in Prague before the regular season started in North America, so the points are a little misleading. But yeah, I mean, they're good. They haven't looked like one of the top 5 for me.
Yeah.
Rangers have been Shesterkin in a contract year, which is going to be expensive.
Washington, kind of surprising. We talked about them. They've been getting a lot of goals. The goals have been goals plenty. And I think I had Dallas as my Western Conference team to get to the Stanley Cup final.
It'll be good.
They'll be just fine, I think.
Yeah.
What do we think of give us the power rankings, Retro? Maybe a top 5 if you want, but
well, I don't know how you go against Winnipeg. They've been unbelievable. Right. So
power rankings like today, not who's going to win the cup, right? We're just who's impressed us today to this.
I think that you're right. We haven't watched enough or paid much attention to Minnesota and what they're doing. Kaprizov's unbelievable, apparently. Florida, my kid's favorite team. He brought it up Sunday night. He's like, it's too bad they're no good this year. And I caught myself. I said, oh, good. Like, so what do you mean? And so he Googled it and he was like, oh, maybe
here's
they
the
are
thing.
right.
They just took 2 from Dallas in Finland. Like that's, you subtract those 2 losses from Dallas, you might have them in your top 3. And full marks to Florida. They played Boston. They've beat Toronto, I believe. Like that's a really, really good team. They have no bad money anywhere, and they've reloaded the blue line. People were very worried. Montour goes away. They lose OEL amongst other pieces, but Florida's stars are still Florida's stars. Sam Reinhart ain't going to
keep her up there, Jack. Keep her up there, Jack, please. And we hear it all. They played so much hockey, back-to-back cup finals. Doesn't seem like that's kind of slowed them down.
All that vitamin D.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Sandals to the rink.
Yep.
We saw Vegas. They won on their last game Saturday. They beat Utah. They're undefeated at home. 8 straight home wins. That ties their franchise record.
Kind of outperforming their underlings, to be really nerdy. So sort of due for a little bit of regression, but they should be in the mix for the Pacific if they can hold off Edmonton. I'm not really buying the Kings, but I think they had back-to-back blowout losses in Ontario. That's kind of swayed me a little because outside of that, they only have 1 regulation loss, but
they'll be
better with Doughty down the road for sure.
Yeah. They beat Nashville last night 3-0. Darcy Kemper 16 saves. We'll talk about
a lot of saves. That's impressive.
Yeah, 16. But yeah,
I'd like Carolina up a ways. I mean, they're 8th.
Are they 6 in a row? You got a nice run.
6 straight wins.
Yeah, like that's another team that we saw and is like, they're just in control all the time and don't make a lot of mistakes.
Brought up the Natchez streak that he's been on, 15 points in a 6-game streak, 18 in his last 10. Something about he dyed his hair or something.
Oh, really?
He went and got the either blonde or the frosty tips or something. And he's been on a real tear.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any salons in Montreal near the hotel, but maybe a quick dip.
It's always good luck to get a haircut before a game for me.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you do.
Did you have a city that you wanted to have the best luck in and would always cut your hair?
No.
Because you told me about that expensive place in Philly.
That was really overpriced, and it was in Philly, which was odd.
Yeah.
The most expensive haircut of your life.
But
Philadelphia.
sometimes you got to spend money to get what you're hoping to get.
That's right.
Lucky.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to spend money to get what you want to get. I think it was Pierre LeBrun on TSN. He said he had spoken to a rival GM, and he said Winnipeg is pretty complete.
What do they do with the Oilers? It's his walk year. I'm not expecting.
Yeah, I mean,
they're grill you, but that's a fascinating conversation to me. That
there's not much you can do. We've had that conversation here a number of times. It was, oh, what do you do with Gaudreau? What if he's playing great and you're in the playoff? What do you do with this guy? What do you do with that guy? If they're going to be this,
it's three things you do. It's just the conversation becomes interesting. You either walk him past the deadline into free agency, you sign him to a number that probably is going to be tough because he's been great and he has the leverage, or you start taking calls on him, see if you can't, get some assets back for him. Those are your three choices. I don't see any others.
Yeah. The
It's
thing with
tough
him
spot.
is too, he's been a little injury plagued.
Totally.
And if it were
That's
not for
great.
this good start, I think if you were to talk to people out there, media, whatever, this is a guy he's trade bait, or definitely you let him walk. I don't know.
Tougher when you're first in the league, right?
And what's nice for highest scoring Danish-born player of all time.
Career.
Yeah.
Take that, Yannick Hansen.
It was actually not. It was. Do you know who he took the mantle from?
Not Freddie Anderson.
No.
Who are the other goddamn Danes?
Nikolai Ehlers, 474 points, most among Danish-born players, surpassing the mark set by Frans Nielsen.
Oh, Frans Danish.
Frans.
I assumed he was Swedish.
Yeah. That's why you come here.
Love Denmark. Very lovely place, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Great.
Too many bike lanes for you, but standard of living high, very happy people. Everyone's fit.
When I'm over there, I'm biking.
Okay. That's
right
what
in
they
there.
do.
You're a biker.
One in Rome.
Yeah, you're a biker.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.